Sunday night between 8 p.m. and 2 a.m. Lock that window into your calendar right now. A 990 millibar low is tracking straight toward southwestern Kansas, and it is going to be dangerous. The Storm Prediction Center is already flagging both Saturday and Sunday for potential severe outbreak days. We are talking tornadoes, 75 mile per hour straight line winds, and baseball-sized hail, all happening simultaneously. Here is what is keeping forecasters up at night. Sunday looks far more dangerous than Saturday. Stay with me at the halfway point. I reveal something about Sunday you need to hear. It is something the meteorological community has been saying quietly among themselves for 2 straight days, and it is not getting the attention it deserves from anyone outside of professional weather circles yet. Honest truth, we have not seen a May setup this dangerous in at least 5 years running. The ingredients converging this weekend are not just textbook severe weather, they are outbreak level ingredients. And if the European model verifies, Sunday evening across the Central Plains is going to be historic. Right now today, 5 completely different weather hazards are active across America at the same moment. Fire weather warnings are burning across North Dakota, South Dakota, and Nebraska as we speak right now. Humidity in the Dakotas has dropped below 10% drier than most desert conditions out west. At the exact same time, snow advisories cover Michigan's Upper Peninsula and parts of Wisconsin today. Snow falling in Michigan and wildfires spreading in Nebraska on the exact same Tuesday in May. That combination tells you the jet stream right now is doing something genuinely unusual and worth watching. Central California is also under a heat advisory with Fresno and Bakersfield hitting 102 degrees today. Meanwhile, across Illinois, a heavy rain zone is tracking through Peoria, Bloomington, and Springfield today. Beardstown is showing an elevated flooding signal that entire area needs to watch for rising water today. Champaign, Decatur, and Danville sit in the active rain zone. Expect 1 to 2 inches tonight. Green Bay and Manitowoc in Wisconsin are watching lake effect snow building off Lake Michigan today. Marquette, Michigan, and the Upper Peninsula, real snowfall accumulation is happening in May right now. Minot, Bismarck, Grand Forks, and North Dakota all under active fire weather warnings through this evening. Aberdeen, Sioux Falls, and Pierre in South Dakota face the same critical fire weather conditions today. Grand Island, Kearney, and North Platte in Nebraska, any fire igniting today can spread with terrifying speed. The same upper trough causing fire danger in the Dakotas is also the engine behind this weekend's storms. As that trough digs deeper through Friday and Saturday, it transforms from fire driver into tornado machine. I kid you not, that single upper-level feature is responsible for every hazard currently on the map. Drop your city and state in the comments. I will check back tonight with your updates. Let us go day by day. Starting today, Florida is the sneaky story most people will overlook. There is a live 2% tornado probability posted for central and eastern Florida this afternoon. That risk ramps up near Orlando and west to Port St. Lucie right around 3 p.m. Eastern today. Jacksonville, Palm Bay, Port St. Lucie, y'all are in for one seriously active Tuesday afternoon today. Storms reach the I-95 corridor around 5 to 6 Eastern, then move offshore by about 9 p.m. Rainfall totals of 3 to 4 inches are projected for Jacksonville and St. Augustine by Thursday morning. That is a lot of water-fast flash flooding is a genuine risk for low-lying Florida neighborhoods. Florida desperately needed this rain, but it is arriving with some real attitude and storm potential today. Over in the Midwest, things stay quiet through afternoon, but do not let your guard down tonight. Elevated thunderstorms with large hail roll through Iowa, Missouri, and Illinois between 8 p.m. and 2 a.m. Sleeping people do not see tornado warnings coming. That is the exact danger with nighttime storm windows. Make sure your weather alert is fully up tonight, not vibrate. Full volume alarm mode only. This is the kind of overnight setup that catches people completely flat-footed when they wake up to damage. Do not go to bed tonight without checking radar one more time, plain and simple, folks. Minneapolis, Milwaukee, and Indianapolis hail-producing storms are possible overnight tonight after 8 p.m. Kansas City and St. Louis overnight is when that gusty storm line moves through your metro area. Sleeping people do not see tornado warnings coming. That is the exact danger with nighttime storm windows. Make sure your weather alert is fully up tonight, not vibrate. Full volume alarm mode only, folks. Moving into Wednesday, the severe weather focus shifts east toward the Mid-Atlantic and Appalachian Range. West Virginia, Eastern Ohio, Western Virginia, and Western Maryland are all in a marginal zone Wednesday. Pittsburgh and Charleston watch for thunderstorms developing between 5 and 7 o'clock Wednesday evening. Some of that Wednesday energy could push down toward Charlotte and Winston-Salem by late Wednesday night. Thursday is the quiet day, and good grief, we are all going to need that break. A capping layer warm air aloft keeps Thursday from becoming a significant severe weather day. Here's the thing about atmospheric caps when they break. They break hard and they break fast. And this cap is about to get pushed well past its breaking point heading into Friday evening. Friday is what forecasters call a conditional day. Everything depends on whether storms crack that cap. A weak surface low develops over Texas and Oklahoma by Friday evening. That is your main trigger. The European model is showing supercells trying to spin up over Oklahoma and Kansas on Friday evening. If those supercells fire in the building instability, significant severe weather becomes possible very quickly. Storm fuel, what forecasters call CAPE, is reaching 2,000 to 3,000 joules per kilogram Friday afternoon. That is a massive energy load sitting in the atmosphere directly ahead of this weekend's main event. Even if the southern cap holds Friday, a low-end tornado potential continues in Ohio through Friday night. Dale Simmons out in Abilene, Kansas, says his cattle have been restless for 2 straight days running. Now, I need to stop right here. We have reached the moment I promised at the top. Here is what the meteorological community has been saying to each other quietly for the past 2 days. The models just picked up something that nobody was fully forecasting 48 hours ago, and it matters. The European model is now showing a 990 millibar low sitting over southwestern Kansas Sunday evening. Below 1,000 millibars is already a strong surface low. 990 puts Sunday in a completely different league. Here's the detail that stopped forecasters cold. The low is projected to keep deepening after formation. A deepening low Sunday evening over the Central Plains is the exact recipe for a major outbreak. Wind shear on Sunday will be significantly stronger than Saturday, and that gap changes everything about this. Strong wind shear converts a regular storm system into organized, rotating, long-track dangerous tornadoes. Dew points across the Central Plains rise into the upper 60s and even low 70s by Sunday afternoon. Upper 60s dew points in May, that is a massive fuel supply sitting right under this storm system. When strong upper-level flow overlaps that moisture, you get the recipe for significant long-track tornadoes. The slight risk zone Sunday stretches from Weatherford, Oklahoma, all the way up through Nebraska and Iowa. All hazards are fully on the table. Tornadoes near 75 miles per hour, straight-line winds, and very large hail simultaneously. A 100-mile track shift separates who gets a tornado from who just gets a regular thunderstorm Sunday. That is why I am running model comparisons every single day between now and Saturday night without exception. Carol Myers up in Omaha, a retired nurse of 30 years, has already moved her furniture to the garage. She says she has seen this setup once before and is not taking any chances this time. Oklahoma City and Tulsa, you are sitting right in the primary corridor for Sunday's worst potential impacts. Wichita, Kansas, you are in the zone where that 990 millibar low tracks closest to your metro area. Kansas City sits right on the edge. A slight northern track brings the worst into your backyard. Des Moines and Iowa City both sit inside the slight risk zone. Have your shelter plan ready. Lincoln and Omaha, Nebraska Sunday evening is your highest risk window. Plan accordingly right now, folks. Chicago and southern Wisconsin, you might think you're outside this, but the risk zone can grow. The models are still disagreeing slightly on the track, which is why Sunday's risk area could shift north. Frank Hollister out in Amarillo, rancher of 25 years, says the sky looked flat out different this morning. When longtime Plains residents tell you something feels different outside, you do not argue with that instinct. Betty out in Wichita Falls has her weather radio charged and her storm shelter location already locked. Drop your city below. I will come back tonight with updated Sunday timing for your exact area. While we're on Sunday, heads up to anyone driving across the Central Plains this weekend. Interstate 35 through Oklahoma and Kansas could be one of America's most dangerous highways on Sunday evening. Interstate 70 through Missouri and Kansas and Interstate 80 through Nebraska all fall inside the risk corridor. If you are driving those corridors Sunday afternoon or evening, you are taking on very serious road risk. Turn around, don't drown applies after tornadoes, 2 flash floods kill drivers on roads that look passable. Now, Saturday is absolutely no pushover. Do not let anyone convince you it is a nothing day. Storms are expected across Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, and Missouri by Saturday evening, ramping after dark. Saturday carries a 15% probability of severe weather within 25 miles of any location in the risk zone. Main hazards Saturday are large hail and damaging winds with an isolated tornado threat over southern Oklahoma. Eastern Kansas and northern Missouri watch for a significant storm around 7 to 8 Saturday evening. Whatever Saturday produces bleeds overnight and recharges the atmosphere directly ahead of Sunday's main event. Saturday is the opening act, serious enough to respect, but Sunday is when the main event starts. And Monday is not off the hook. That storm keeps rolling eastward long after Sunday wraps up. Michigan, Illinois, Indiana, down through Texas and Louisiana Monday delivers another significant round of weather. The Ohio Valley and Great Lakes face damaging winds, hail, and possible tornadic activity Monday afternoon. We are looking at Saturday, Sunday, and Monday as a genuine 3-day stretch of serious severe weather potential. And the models are no longer disagreeing. The European and GFS are both converging on Sunday's outbreak. When two major global models agree on an event that signal is worth taking very seriously, the GFS also shows potential for severe weather continuing into Tuesday across the Mississippi River Valley. Beyond Monday, long-range models show more storm systems ejecting off the Rockies through the rest of May. The Climate Prediction Center is flagging above normal rainfall across the Great Plains for the next 10 days. Not going to lie, this second half of May is the most hyperactive severe weather stretch since April. The Mississippi River Valley models hint at another tornado-capable low-pressure system arriving next week. Too far out for hard specifics, but it is a real signal we are tracking every single day. Let me give you the real talk version of what you actually need to do before this weekend arrives. Oklahoma, Kansas, and Nebraska, your preparation window is right now, not Saturday morning, not Sunday noon. Know your shelter spot before Friday night interior room, basement, or a community shelter location nearby. Mobile home residents from Texas through Iowa, you need a solid alternative shelter plan before Sunday evening. Mobile homes are never safe during tornado warnings. Sunday's setup is capable of producing significant tornadoes. Bob Simmons in Indianapolis, retired electrician, says he already has his weather radio on and basement ready. That is the mindset, not panic, not fear, just prepared and informed heading into a high-potential weekend. Your weather alert must wake you up from across the house loud enough to hear at midnight. Saturday and Sunday nights both carry nocturnal storm potential tornado warnings could fire while you sleep. Nighttime tornadoes are significantly more deadly than daytime ones. You cannot see a wall cloud at midnight. Iowa, Kansas, and Missouri corridor, folks, Sunday night is the window to stay fully aware for. Heads up to anyone driving across the Central Plains this Friday through Monday. Plan those routes carefully. Interstate 35 through Oklahoma and Kansas could be one of the most dangerous highways in America on Sunday. Interstate 70 through Missouri and Kansas and Interstate 80 through Nebraska, all inside the risk corridor. Turn around, don't drown, because after tornadoes come flash floods, and flooded roads kill drivers every year. Here's the single story that ties all of this week's weather together into one coherent explanation. One upper-level trough drawing the north into fire danger while simultaneously charging the southern storm corridor. As that trough digs deeper this weekend, a 990 millibar low spins up and Sunday evening becomes the flashpoints. Mark my words, if the European model verifies Sunday, 990 millibars and 75-mile-per-hour winds will be remembered. Here is the genuine good news: you have multiple days to prepare, and preparation genuinely saves lives. People who come through storm events fine are always the ones who had a plan before it hit. Now, I want to hear from you. Drop your city and state in the comments right below. Midwest folks, Iowa, Illinois, Wisconsin, Indiana, what does the sky look like outside your window today? Oklahoma, Kansas, Texas, are you already seeing any changes in the atmosphere ahead of this weekend setup? What city do you want a 5-day risk breakdown for? Drop it in the comments right now. Watching fire danger in the Dakotas today, tell me what conditions look like on the ground. Your best shelter Sunday night is an interior room on the lowest floor away from all windows. If you have a basement, get there the moment your county receives a tornado warning Sunday evening. No basement means interior bathroom or ground floor closet. That is your next safest option. Cover yourself with mattresses or blankets. They reduce injury even when they cannot stop a tornado. Have shoes on and your phone charged. People injured after tornadoes often stepped on debris barefoot. Every person in your household needs to know the shelter plan before Sunday, not when the sirens fire. Back in central Illinois, Beardstown sits in the highest rainfall pocket with active flooding concerns. Drivers on Route 67 and Route 136 in western Illinois watch for water over roadways through tonight. Springfield and Decatur commuters plan for slow conditions on your evening drive due to heavy rain. The Dakota's fire danger is driven by 9% humidity in some locations, essentially tinder conditions. Aberdeen and Watertown in South Dakota, gusty winds are actively spreading fire risk across your counties. Grand Island and Kearney, Nebraska, fire igniting in these winds could threaten structures very fast. The European model has been more consistent on Sunday's low, and it gets the trust edge here. The Gus Ensemble is now trending toward the European solution for Sunday. That convergence matters. When the GFS trends European in the 4 to 5 day range, the European is usually right, folks. There is also a sneaky, isolated hail threat over Kansas on Thursday afternoon worth keeping an eye on. Minnesota could see isolated thunderstorms Thursday as well. Nothing major, but worth a heads up. Sandra Phelps out in Lexington, South Carolina, is watching Sunday's system move toward the Carolinas. She says the last time dew points ran this high in May, trees came down across 3 counties. Pat over in Charlotte is already reviewing her emergency kit batteries, water, and a paper map. These are not panic, folks. They are people who have been through it and learned their lesson. Here's something I genuinely want to know. What is your biggest concern about this weekend setup? Is it the overnight Saturday timing, Sunday's outbreak potential, or Monday's eastward continuation? Your answers help me focus the most detail on tomorrow's daily update for the highest risk areas. Galesburg and Canton in Illinois, you are in the moderate rainfall band. Watch for localized flooding. Hoopeston and Rantoul near the Illinois-Indiana line, heavy rain bands could hit your evening commutes. Clinton and Taylorville in central Illinois, 1 to 2 inch totals are expected before midnight tonight. All of this today, rain, snow, fire, and heat is essentially the atmosphere loading itself up. Loading up for Friday when the cap breaks and Saturday and Sunday when everything finally fires. Think of this week like a pressure cooker, quiet outside, building intensely on the inside all week. Sunday evening from 8 p.m. to 2 a.m. is when that pressure cooker finally lets absolutely everything go. We have not seen May ingredients align like this simultaneously in at least 5 full years running. The 990 millibar low, upper 60s dew points, strong wind shear, all three arriving at once on Sunday. That triple overlap is what separates a significant storm day from a historically significant outbreak. You have 72 hours before Sunday's window arrives, and 72 hours is genuinely a gift. Folks, use those hours shelter plan locked, alert setup confirmed, supplies ready, neighbors notified. I read every single comment coming in, especially from folks in the primary Sunday risk corridor. Your city, your conditions, your ground level observations all help build a sharper forecast here. Ground truth from real people matters just as much as radar data in a complex setup like this. Do yourself a solid, share this forecast with someone in Oklahoma, Kansas, or Iowa before Sunday arrives. A heads up from someone they trust beats 10 push notifications they are going to swipe right away. We will be live and tracking every development, the Friday trigger, the 990 millibar low, and Sunday's window. Stay safe out there, look after your neighbors, and we will see you in the very next updates.